Have you ever wished you could just build a digital clone of yourself? I'm not talking about just a chatbot. I mean, something that really understands how you work, can connect to your tools, and actually gets things done for you. We're going to talk about that fundamental shift today, moving from just chatting with an AI to giving it a goal and letting it loose.
We've all gotten used to chatting with AI, right? But you've probably hit that wall. You ask it to do something, and instead of doing it, it just tells you how you could do it yourself. It's like, thanks, but that's not what I asked. The conversation is the easy part. The real magic is what comes next.
So imagine this. What if your AI could not only answer questions, but could also go search the live web for brand new info, securely scan your private documents to get the right context, and then, this is the key, actually take action based on everything it just learned? That's the leap from a conversational buddy to a real functional agent.
Okay, so let's put a clear definition on this. An AI agent, it's not just a language model, it's a whole system. It's designed to follow your instructions, stay within the boundaries you set, and, most importantly, use tools to take action. This right here, this is the big difference between chatting and doing.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds incredibly complicated to build. But you know what? The modern stack for this is actually refreshingly simple. It really just boils down to 3 layers. You've got the Responses API, which is the engine. Then you've got these awesome built-in tools. And finally, when you're ready to get serious, you have the Agents SDK and AgentKit to turn your idea into a real product. So let's start at level 1. This is all about giving your agent its first set of superpowers. They're basic, but they are incredibly useful, and you get them right out of the docs with those built-in tools. You're going to be surprised how much you can do right from the get-go. Okay, power-up number 1, web search. This one is huge. It instantly breaks your agent out of that knowledge cutoff prison. All of a sudden, it can get up-to-the-minute information, find credible sources, and the best part, you can plug this in with a single line of code. It is a massive upgrade for almost 0 effort. And check this out. This shows just how simple it is. You don't have to tell the AI how to search the web. You just give it a task like this. Behind the scenes, the agent figures out what you want, fires up the web search tool, looks at the results, and then puts together a summary with citations.
All right, power up number 2, file search. Oh man, this one is a total game changer. It solves a massive problem. How do you make an AI an expert on your stuff, your private files? In the past, this meant building these complex, custom systems just to index your data. But now, OpenAI handles all that heavy lifting for you. The parsing, the chunking, the retrieval, it's all done.
And the process to get it working is ridiculously simple. It's just 2 steps. First, you create something called a vector store, and you just point it at the files you've uploaded. Then, second, when you make a call, you just tell the agent it's allowed to use the file search tool on that specific store. That's it. Your agent can now reason over all of your private data.
Okay, time to level up. Level 2. We've used OpenAI's tools, which are great. But what if you want the agent to interact with your app, your database, your systems? This is where you grant it custom superpowers by plugging it directly into your own code.
And this little table here lays out the difference perfectly. On one side, you've got the built-in tools. They're hosted by OpenAI, they're super simple, great for common stuff. But on the other side, you've got function tools. This is your code running on your servers, which means it is infinitely customizable for your specific business needs. So here's the magic of how it works. Your agent isn't just spitting out text anymore. It's now in a conversation, a loop, with your own systems. When it decides, hey, I need to use one of those custom tools, it sends a request to your server. Your code runs, does its thing, and then feeds the result right back to the agent so it can keep working on the task. Let's just walk through that loop real quick. First, the agent decides, I need to look up a policy. So it sends a tool call request over to your server. Your server then runs the code to find that policy, gets the result, and sends it back. And now the agent has exactly what it needs to finish the job. It's this seamless dance between AI reasoning and your own application's logic.
So up to this point, we've built a really clever script, a really powerful one actually. But there is a massive difference between a script that works on your laptop and a reliable, rock-solid product that thousands of people can depend on. So let's talk about leveling up to that final form. This is the key question you have to ask yourself as your agent starts to get more and more complex. At what point do you outgrow just making a simple API call? And the answer is usually
when your workflows start to get more involved.
Because as your agent's jobs get bigger, you start hitting these new walls. Like, how do you manage a flow that has 10 steps instead of just 2? How do you hand off a task from a research agent to, say, a writing agent? How on earth do you debug it when something goes wrong? And how do you even build the chat interface for your users? These aren't script problems. These are production problems.
And that is exactly where the Agents SDK and AgentKit come into play. They are the upgrade path. They are designed specifically to solve these production problems. They give you tools for orchestration, visual ways to design your agent's logic, user interfaces you can just drop into your app, and even frameworks to measure how well it's all performing. And that really is the main idea here. These tools are what bridge that gap. They give you the structure, the visibility, and the tooling you need to go from a cool proof of concept to a robust, scalable, and truly reliable product powered by AI.
So here it is, your blueprint. Your step-by-step guide to building an agent. First, prototype. Start as simple as you possibly can. One API call, one built-in tool. Second, connect it. Add a custom function to pull in your own app's logic. Third, enrich it. Give it more context by turning on file search with your private data. And finally, when things get complex, you orchestrate the whole thing using the Agents SDK and AgentKit. That's how you get to production.
We have covered a ton of ground from the very basics all the way to full-scale production. So now it's time to make this real. I'll leave you with this question. If you look at your own work, your own daily tasks, what's the very first agent you would build to save yourself 5 hours every single week?